The Solstice Summer event is back in Destiny 2. This free-to-play event brings with it the new Crowning Duolog Strand rocket launcher, one of the best high-stat armor farms in the game, a new event armor set, and the Bonfire Bash activity. Now, this guide is different to others you might have seen. I took the time to research leaf values, awarded challenge points, and the most optimal farms. So stick around to understand the ins and outs and play as efficiently as possible. For the basics, start the event by heading to Ava Levante. She'll give you a series of tutorial quests teaching you about Silver Leaves, Ash, event armor and its upgrade process, and event challenges. Silver Leaves are earned by completing nearly any activity in Destiny 2 while you have Solstice armor equipped, with more leaves dropping the more armor pieces you have on. These go into your consumables inventory and have a max cap of 100. To get Silver Ash, run the Bonfire Bash event activity while you have Silver Leaves and Solstice armor equipped. This activity takes you to the EAZ, a special boss rush arena where you'll defeat special ignition carriers. When defeated, the bosses drop igniter orbs, which can be thrown into the bonfire in the center. Every successful deposit will increase your igniter's consumed counter, capping out at 30 for maximum rewards. Be aware, when thrown, igniters will track to the bonfire but experience drop. If throwing them at great distances, aim higher than you think is necessary. Otherwise, just get closer for a straighter shot. A key piece of advice is to stick together. When the bosses are defeated, they will drop 3 igniter orbs, 1 per player, that have a 10-second despawn timer. Depending on where the boss was, a lone player might not be able to deposit multiple orbs, making it so that you'll have to defeat even more bosses or not reach that 30 igniter cap before your 8 minutes are up. So again, stick together. If you see someone wander off, go follow them. Plus, sticking together has another benefit, providing players with the Firebound buff that greatly increases super regen and recovery. After 10 and 20 igniters are deposited, the Taken Interference event will occur. To relight the bonfire, jump up the buildings and take out that blight and 2 high-value targets. For getting up high, look to the man cannons in the center and wisps of energy that'll launch you straight up. Quick tip, to progress the Torch the Taken challenge, make sure you do some damage to those high-value targets. Kill credit is what progresses that. Once all clear, you get an ammo crate and can go back to depositing igniters. When time's up or you've reached the 30 igniter cap, the final boss will spawn. Defeat them to finally earn your loot. This is when your Silver Leaves get converted to Silver Ash. For every igniter deposited, 2/3 of a silver leaf are consumed, rounded to the nearest whole leaf. So 20 deposited, 13 leaves would be used. Reach the max of 30 deposits, then 20 leaves consumed. The number of leaves is then multiplied by the number of Solstice armor pieces equipped, thus giving you Silver Ash. If you had 1 piece, then 20 leaves turns into 20 Ash. 5 armor pieces, then that's 20 leaves into 100 Ash. So make sure you have a full set of Solstice armor equipped. Additionally, upon activity completion you'll get an assortment of world drops, enhancement cores, shards, glimmer, and event weapons and armor. This is also dependent on your igniters deposited and the number of armor pieces equipped. If you had no armor on, you'll still get some loot, albeit only a couple of event items. With a full set, you'll greatly increase that to 3 to 4 event items and other world drops. So again, make sure you play with a full set equipped. It's also worth noting that you don't need to have Silver Leaves to get these event items. These are just for turning into Silver Ash for armor stat focusing. If you're only after the event weapons, then just keep running Bonfire Bash without any leaves. With that Silver Ash, you can now interact with armor stat focusing. You'll need some Kindling, which is rewarded upon completing the various challenges in the event card. These objectives range from getting kills with specific weapons to running specific activities, all which are easy and free to play. That Kindling will then allow you to use your Silver Ash to reroll the armor stats by imbuing it with different embers. This is all done when inspecting the Solstice armor, as you'll see 2 extra mod sockets at the end. The Kindling applied is for all armor pieces of that slot across all characters. Meaning, if you socket a small Kindling into your Warlock's helmet, then all Solstice helmets across all characters will have that small Kindling. Upon fully rekindling an armor piece, all pieces of that slot will then have a subtle white glow added, along with specific stat reroll options. By using Ash to imbue the armor with glowing and shining embers, which can increase the armor stat total, you can then use 60 Ash to imbue the armor with a spark, granting a minimum of plus 20 to a desired stat. If you then couple this with a Ghost Armorer mod, you can guarantee another stat to have at least plus 10, with also another stat forced to being 2 based on what stats are picked. More on that later. In a nutshell, that's how Solstice works. Now, let's go over optimal farming strategies for challenges and loot. On screen is the list of all event challenges needed to fully rekindle your armor and earn the Flamekeeper title. Some challenges can be progressed by achieving different objectives, each rewarding varying points. For the most optimal approach, that would be 5 bonfire bashes once you have 100 silver leaves, 10 Crucible or Gambit games, just make sure you get 10 Guardian defeats, 1 full Altar of Sorrows run, 2 Blindwell Tier 4s or Dares of Eternity runs, 10 strikes, and your choice of 10 heroic public events, lost sectors, or Lightfall missions on Neomuna. Following this, all players can complete all the challenges in about 5 hours. Not a whole lot of time, all things considered, as the event lasts for 3 weeks. Now for the loot. If you're just after the event weapons, so the new Crowning Duologue, Something New, and Compass Rose, then just run Bonfire Bash. No need for farming silver leaves, as the weapons just drop from activity completion. But I'll reiterate, you need to have Solstice armor equipped, not ornaments, for loot. Yes, you can get some drops without any armor, but you easily double or triple your loot per run by having it on. As for if those weapons are worth chasing, that's up to you. Look at the available perks and see if something piques your interest. Crowning is the first strand rocket, and it does have some interesting utility perks for PvE. Something New is really the only accessible stasis hand cannon, and they are getting a massive PvE buff next season, and Compass Rose is a precision shotgun, which are pretty dominant in PvP with the recent reticle changes. As it comes to farming for high stat armor pieces, then you'll need to get Silver Leaves and Ash. To completely imbue with Embers and pick that plus 20 stat, you'll need 120 Ash per armor piece. So, when doing Bonfire Bash, make sure you have a full set equipped, so that you turn up to 20 leaves into 100 Ash per run. On screen is a list of nearly all activities that award Silver Leaves. The amount varies based on the number of armor pieces equipped and through RNG. Through my testing, having all 5 pieces equipped almost always rewarded me the most leaves, although not by much, just by 1 to 3. That said, a few here or there for each activity over the whole event adds up to either more armor pieces focused or less time grinding. To farm optimally, play with a full set. As to which activities to grind, that depends on your objective. If you just want armor, you are after high leaves per minute. At present, there are 2 great options. The first mission of Lightfall, First Contact, which is free to play, takes about 15 minutes, can be easily soloed, and rewards 2 instances of leaf drops. One when you enter the drop pod, the other after the 2 cutscenes. The other is the Terminus East EDZ Lost Sector in Trustland, as that can be done in like 30 seconds and reward 1 to 2 leaves. Otherwise, all other leaf sources grant a half to a whole leaf per minute, so play what you like. If you're like me and want other loot and objectives to chase, be it grinding playlist rep or chasing specific loot, then look to highlighted weekly events. That'd be whatever playlist has bonus rep, weekly featured raids or dungeons that has loot you want, or finishing up triumphs for gilding and titles. As an example, week 1 has bonus Crucible rep, Team Scorched, and Deepstone Crypt and Pit of Heresy are farmable. I want to reset my Crucible rank, so I'll play Team Scorched, netting me Crucible rep and loot, leaves, and bonus weapon XP. Want raid craftable weapons? Then farm HX1 in Deepstone Crypt. Want more Godroll armor? Then farm Zolmak in Pit of Heresy. For future weeks, just look at active rotations. Now, I'm sure the question has come up. Is this event armor really that good? You're always going to get varying opinions, but my short answer is yes. Especially for newer players or those that can't farm endgame sources like raids or master dungeons for Artifice armor, Solstice armor allows you to exactly pick several of your stats. Only master raids get sorta close to this, and that depends on the week. Armor stats are about 2 things, totals and distributions. The Solstice system allows for the latter, which IMO is more important. As for what stats to pick and how to do so, it's up to you. If you have a lacking stat in your armor collection or need something for a specific build, focus on that. For maximizing benefit, hunters, I recommend your Spark and Ghost Armorer mod be either Discipline, Intellect, or Strength. Since you value mobility and the other core character stats, focusing on the lower section is more desirable. For Warlocks and Titans, I'd have your Spark and Ghost mod be selected from Resilience and Recovery. Since you don't need mobility, unless you like the feel of it in PvE or PvP, having your Spark be Resilience and your Armorer mod be Recovery forces the mobility stat to be 2. This applies to all combinations when dealing with 2 focusing options with an upper or lower section of stats. Another example, if you hate Intellect, force it to be 2 by using a Spark on Discipline and Armorer mod on Strength. Besides this, you have Bright Dust, Eververse, and the upgraded event card. Special event items rotate weekly in the Eververse store and are available for Bright Dust. To easily earn them, pick up Ava's weekly bounties that reward 200 dust and the repeatable ones that are worth 10 each. Simple to do each week across all characters. In the Eververse store, consider the event's armor ornament sets that provide a glow that changes colors based on your equipped subclass. It's a whopping 6,000 dust, so choose wisely. If you just like the look of the armor and glow doesn't matter, just Transmog It. Use your synth weave to turn them into ornaments in the appearance customization menu. As for the upgraded event card, that purchase is up to you. For 1,000 silver, you get immediate access to a unique shader, emote, and sparrow, with extra earnable items by completing event challenges. This is all optional. You do not need this to interact with the rest of Solstice. It is just for these unique cosmetic items. If they look interesting to you, then be happy with your purchase. And that's Solstice. Just kick back, have fun, and get some god roll weapons and armor. Or not. The event is optional. Don't force yourself if nothing piques your interest. At the very least, just start it on all your characters so that you've unlocked the armor, so that you can later transmog it if you so wish. Oh, and make sure to equip your crafted weapons. The XP awarded to crafted weapons upon activity completion has the same bonus 35% that first occurred in the Guardian Games event. If you have any other questions about Solstice, feel free to leave them in the comments. And if you found this guide useful, then leave a like and maybe subscribe. As always, I am your Commander Pika. Be kind, have fun, and I'll see you on the battlefield.